first video today for Garudasana, our eagle pose, is going to be our warm-up preparation for Garudasana. So with every pose we like to warm up and like to begin to encourage the muscles that we're going to be using for the final pose, the peak pose. We like to have those muscles nice and warm and nice and ready for that peak pose. So we're going to begin today standing at the top of the mat for our warm-up. And we're going to begin by I don't know what mat. Standing up, and you need a little bit more. Like that. So great, we're going to warm up for our Garudasana. So with any peak pose, our Garudasana being our peak pose, we like to warm up the muscles that we're going to be using. So we're going to warm up this morning for our Garudasana. Okay, so coming to stand at the top of the mat. And as always, we like to allow ourselves to come into the physical body before we begin. Good. I'm going to begin first of all by just extending through the arms at shoulder height. Inhale, spread through the fingertips. Get some nice space into the front of the chest. Exhale as I begin to wrap my arms around the front of my chest. I've got my left elbow over my right elbow here. So give yourself that little hug first of all, and we'll just do some breathing here as we interlace the arms and cross them over. So I'm just giving myself that little pat gently on the shoulder. Inhale as we deeply draw the breath into the back body here. So feeling a stretch across the upper shoulders. And exhale, soften. And we'll do 2 more of those. Inhale. And exhale, let it all go. Finding that length up through the spine. Noticing your feet on the floor. Inhale deeply into the back body. And exhale. Good. From here, we're going to release the arms. So I'm taking the backs of my arms together. If you find that this is where you're feeling challenged, stay here. Otherwise, we can double wrap. So seeing if you can take the palms of the hands together. Don't worry if you can't. It doesn't make you any more of a yogi if you can or can't. So taking the hands together if that's good for you. And then we can begin to drop the shoulder blades down the back, broadening across the front of the chest and just letting the elbows be heavy here, letting them sink a little. Good. We're going to inhale here, pressing down energetically through the feet to lengthen up through the crown of the head. Good. Gentle bend through the knees, hinge at the hips, and we come into our forward fold. Good. And then just allow the weight of the upper body, the head, even the arms here, as they're all weighted to the mat below. Just taking some nice deep breaths here. Again, noticing how the breath travels in and out of the back body. Good. And we're going to begin to bend into the knees on the inhale. Inhale, just letting the tailbone sink down. Exhale, lengthen. Good. We'll do 2 more of those. And exhale. Let the tailbone lift. Crown sinks. 1 more. And again, we'll just spend another breath here in our forward fold with these eagle arms. Dropping away any tension through the upper body. Good. And we'll slowly ragdoll our way back up to standing here. Good. And from here, we'll just do a little gentle lift of the chest as we come into a slight back bend, if that feels good. And then exhale. We'll begin to unravel and let the arms sink down by the sides. Great. And we'll do the same then to the other side. So just inhaling first as we lengthen through the fingertips at shoulder height. Get a lovely opening through the front of the chest. Exhale, I'm crossing my right arm on top of my left here. Just giving myself that lovely hug here again. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here, engaging into the back body again. Good, deepening the breath. Last one. Noticing your feet on the floor, noticing your connection to the earth. Good, and then we'll take the backs of the arms together here again. This might be where you're feeling good and challenged. If not, you can double wrap. Take the palms of the hands together. And we'll start that process of dropping the shoulders down away from the ears, broadening across the front of the chest, and just letting those elbows be a little bit heavier. And you can gently press into the hands or into the backs of the arms together. We'll inhale as we press down through the feet, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, that gentle bend through the knees, hinge at the hips and forward fold. And again, you can just begin to release the upper body, the neck, the head, even the arms forward to the earth below. Our tailbone is lifting. And spending a breath here, just draping into the shape. Good. On the inhale, we can begin to let the tailbone sink and the knees bend. And the exhale back into your forward fold. And just noticing maybe you're getting a little deeper through the upper body. Inhale. And exhale. Good, last one. Inhale, let the tailbone just rest down and be heavy. Exhale, fold back into your forward fold. And again, another breath here. Good, inhale. And then we'll begin that ascent upwards to standing. That little ragdoll up, nice and slow. Good. Just that little back bend as we begin to release the heart and the elbows towards the sky again, if that feels good. And then exhale, come back to center and begin to unravel. Let the arms be heavy. So we're just going to come into Tadasana for a breath here. Just noticing any sensations through the body after that. Good. From here, I'm just going to cross, my left leg is my standing leg here, nice and strong through my left leg. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left leg. So you might need to stagger it a bit further forward if you're quite tight through the hips. Good. And then on the inhale, reach the arms up overhead, getting a lovely stretch through the upper body. Then take that gentle bend through the knees. Take the hands down through the center line and rain the fingertips down to the floor. And forward fold, Uttanasana. Just with a gentle variation of having the legs crossed. Now you're going to notice perhaps if you have any tightness in the IT band down the outer edges of the thighs. You might notice some tightness here. So you can take a bit more of a generous bend if you need to here. And we'll take 3 breaths. Trying to release the head and neck. So you can even bow the head and neck here. Good. Inhale. And exhale that lovely ragdoll back up to standing. So we're still beginning to wake the body up here. Good. And we'll cross to the other side. Right leg is my standing leg. Left leg crosses over. Again, choosing where you need to place that left foot to feel comfortable coming into this forward fold. Then you can begin to inhale. Reach the arms up. Get that lovely length through the spine. Exhale through your forward fold. Fingertips down to the mat. And if you need to, you can play with where the feet are located. Bend into the knees. And allow yourself to find a variation of this forward fold that feels best for you. Taking 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, make your way all the way back up through that lovely ragdoll. Good. And step the left back over the right and come to standing. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, gentle bend through the knee, hinge at the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Good. I'm going to step back with my right leg, stepping all the way back into a lovely long lunge, Ashvasanchalasana. Drop the knee to the floor, drop the front of the shin to the floor. And I'm going to walk my left foot out a little bit further towards the left side of the mat and take my left hand to the inside of that left leg. Good. Begin to release this right hip down to the floor. So letting it be heavy and let it sink a little. And allow the body to invite you in here. So that if your hip flexors are a little bit tight here at the front, just take a moment, take a little rock. Breathe into it here. Good. And on the next inhale then, we want to be lifting from the heart center up towards the sky. Creating some space through the front of the chest. So not just lifting, but peeling open towards the heavens. Taking a few breaths here. Finding that openness through the front of the chest. Weightedness through the hips. Good, one more breath. Lovely. So begin to press into the fingertips, begin to move the tailbone back a little so that you can walk this left foot all the way over to the right side of the mat here. So my right hand and my left foot are just connecting here, but my right hand is still to the outside. Good, you can bend into this left knee and begin to lift the heart. Inhale. Good. On the exhale, we're going to let the tailbone sink back, going to peel this left foot off the floor, lengthening that left leg. So coming into a half Hanuman asana, but with a slight variation of having it to the left foot to the right side of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine here. Exhale, let the heart fold a little towards the left knee, and then maybe you'd like to bow the head towards the left knee. Staying here for a breath. So making sure you keep that gentle bend through the left knee at all times, that you're not locking it out here. Good. Inhale as we roll forward. Lift the heart. Exhale as you roll back. Lift that left foot, peel it off the floor, and bow towards the knee if that feels comfortable. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, roll forward, and exhale, roll back. Good. Coming forward one more time and just noticing that back right knee on the floor. I'm just going to turn my lower right leg and take it to the left side of the mat a little bit. Then I can begin to walk this left leg back. So stacking my left knee over my right here. So basically I've come into all fours here with my left knee over my right knee here. And we're going to begin just circling the tailbone here. So letting the tailbone make, as though you have a pencil on your tailbone, we're making gentle little circles here. So spend some time here just noticing how that feels for you in your hips today. How it feels in the lower back. Is anything tight? Is anything grumbling? How does that feel for you? Good. I'm going to stack into this left hand. And inhale, begin to again find that lovely expansion through the front of the chest, reaching my right fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, allow the right hand sink back down. Inhale back up, expanding, broadening through the front of the chest. Exhale down, and we'll just do one more inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, I'm going to begin to walk my fingertips back, and we're going to come into our Garudasana. So you can have a block, you can have a blanket to go underneath the tailbone here. Beginning to sit the tailbone between the heels. Good. So I have my left knee stacked over my right knee here. And if this is not accessible, or it doesn't feel good for your hips here, please don't work with anything that causes pain. Lengthen that right leg out underneath. So the underneath leg just comes to lengthen. Good. And we're going to just spend a breath here. So finding our foundation, noticing our seat on the floor here. Good. Trying to allow the sit bones to make complete contact with the earth. Good. And we're going to do that again where we expand through the front of the chest, let the fingertips lengthen. And exhale as we begin to cross the arms. So if you notice, I have my left leg on top of my right. So I'm going to have my right arm on top of my left. So we'll start with the right arm on top. Give yourself that lovely hug. Take a breath here. Wonderful. And then we'll take the backs of the arms together, just like we did when we were standing. And seeing if double wrapping feels good for you. So taking the palms together if that feels right. Broadening through the front of the chest. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. Good. On the inhale, lengthen up through the spine. So you'll feel gently pressing down through the foundation as you lengthen up. Exhale, a little fold forward, so taking the elbows towards the knee. Inhale, lift. Noticing how that feels in the hips as you fold forward, as your weight shifts. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale. And exhale. We'll just do one more of those. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And just coming back here to Garudasana arms, Gamakasana legs. Take a breath. Great. Unravel the arms. Good. Inhale, lengthen back through the fingertips. And then exhale, let the hands come down by the side. Good. So from here, again, if it feels good for you, we can begin to fold back forward into all fours with the legs crossed. So coming back into all fours, my left knee is still in front of my right. I'm going to tuck my toes here. So again, finding the variation that feels good for you. This may not feel right, so you can simply come into all fours. And then we can begin by pressing into the feet, lifting the tailbone. So I'm coming into just a slight variation of our Ardha Mukha Shavasana, or downward facing dog. And just my right foot is in front of my left. So the legs are crossed, taking a few breaths here, noticing how that feels in the tailbone as it lifts high. Noticing how it feels down those thick bands down the sides of the legs, the IT bands. Broadening as always to the front of the chest, spreading the fingertips wide. Good. One more breath here. Good. So I'm just going to unravel my legs, come into a very regular version of downward facing dog. Spend a breath here. Seeing how that feels and how different it is. Good. From here you can hop, skip or jump to the top of your mat. And then inhale as we sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands towards heart. And spending a moment here just checking in to see how the body feels after that. Great. Are you ready to move to the other side? Lovely. So we're going to do the same then to the other side. Okay. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Lovely stretch through the upper body. Exhale as you forward fold, coming into your Uttanasana. Good. Step back with the left leg. Let the left leg lengthen along the mat here. Coming back into your Ashvasanchalasana. Drop that left knee and the left shin to the floor and just begin to walk that left foot out, the right foot out towards the right side of the mat so that the right arm comes to the inside. We're going to begin just letting that left hip flexor soften. Maybe even giving yourself that little moment to rock from side to side. And waiting for the hip to invite you in. So we don't force, we don't pressure. We just allow the body to begin to naturally open. Good. Fingertipping the mat, finding that extension upwards through the heart. And also that broadening, making space through the front of the chest. So spending a few breaths here. Loving that sensation as we open into the front of the chest. Open through the front body, opening our heart. Good. And then from here I'm going to let my tailbone sink back a little so I can begin to walk that right foot to the inside of the left hand. And we'll begin inhaling as we press forward, let the heart lift. Exhaling, let the tailbone sink back, peel the right foot off the floor and begin to lengthen into the right leg here. So again, not locking that right knee out. We're going to take a breath here as we lengthen through the spine first. And exhale, seeing if we can let the heart come down towards the right knee and then the forehead. Taking a breath here. Good. We'll begin to move forward on the inhale, bending into that right knee, lift the heart. Exhale, let the tailbone come back, lift that right foot off the floor. Inhale, roll forward. So we're just flowing back and forward, using the breath to determine the pace. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Good. We're going to inhale forward. This time I'm looking just back at my left knee and begin to stagger my lower left leg to the right side of the mat. Then I can begin to move my tailbone back so that I can cross my right knee over my left knee here. Begin to come to sit back. So now my right knee is on top here in my Garudasana, and as always you can just allow the left leg to lengthen here along the floor in front of you if there's any issues in the hips. And one side might feel a bit tighter than the other. So make sure that you choose the variation that feels good for you. And settle in. So allow your sit bones to be heavy to the floor and start to melt downwards. Spending some time here, noticing any sensations as you do. Good. We're going to inhale, spread the fingertips wide. And then exhale, again I have my right knee on top of my left, so my left arm comes on top of my right. And we're just going to give ourselves that lovely little hug first. So you can wrap the hands around the outsides of the shoulders and just spend a moment here. Lengthening through the crown, breathing into the back body. So noticing the ribs expand, the shoulder blades move away from the spine. And you can always gently close the eyes here to internalize that experience a little bit more. Lovely. And we're just going to then allow the backs of the arms to come together. So we're coming into our eagle arms. And seeing if you can double wrap, and if that does not feel good, just keep the backs of the arms together. So let the elbows be a little bit heavier here and see if you can broaden across the front of the chest. So it's almost like we're trying to move the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders away from each other, broadening through the front of the chest. Good. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and you'll notice just gently pressing down through the sit bones, through your foundation. And then exhale, folding forward, taking the elbows to knees. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale, fold forward. And just noticing how does that feel in the hips as you move forward, as you shift your weight forward. And we'll do 2 more. Staying with any sensations. Last one. Good. And just staying here for a breath. Good. Inhale. And then exhale. We can begin to unravel. And then inhale. Let the fingertips lengthen. Get some space through the shoulders. Good. And exhale. Let the hands come down by the sides. Okay. So you can make your way now back to all fours. So I'm just going to roll back forward onto my knees. Still with my knees crossed. Coming to all fours. In this cross-legged variation. Tucking the toes. Press upwards into our downward facing dog. That's cross-legged as well, our Ardha Mukha Shavasana. And taking some deep breaths here. Let the head release. Fingertips spread wide. One more breath here. Noticing, again, just a different sensation than we would have in our regular downward facing dog. And then we'll uncross the legs and sit with our Ardha Mukha Shavasana for 1 breath. Good. Inhaling, looking between the hands. And you can step, walk, or jump your way to the top of the mat, and then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands towards heart. Take a moment here. Lovely. So that was our warm-up for our Garudasana. And in the next video, I will go through Garudasana and some variations there too. So see you in the next video.